Hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back to another episode of That's Right.
Yes.
Look, a little cozy episode. I'm Crystal.
And I'm Alisa.
And we are
That's Right.
Your favorite sister podcast. Your favorite woman podcast. This is a women's empowerment podcast. we are Black womanists. We
support the Black men.
Look,
too.
I took a whole course about Black womenism in college, and
really?
I loved it.
Really?
Yes. So if you're a woman, listen up. If you're a man, listen up.
Ooh.
Okay, I was gonna say something that might get us canceled.
Okay, don't do that, sis.
So
you know you're controversial. You know you go viral.
I do not try to be controversial.
I'm just saying.
But it happens, right?
I know,
People think it's controversial.
They do. They take it that way.
Weirdos.
Until they watch the full clip.
Are they watching the full clip?
That'd be the problem.
All right. So what are we talking about today?
Cool.
You want to reel us in? You want me to?
You was going to reel us in on what we're talking about today.
Okay. So today we are talking about male and female roles. Like what, not y'all, me and Lisa. This is always our opinion, right? And we think we're quintessential Black girls. We think we come from the Black woman perspective. If we don't come from your perspective, that's also okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about what roles do we think in marriage, in life, in parenting are inherently male. Like you're like, no, this my man needs to do this. I don't do this. And maybe for men, they think, you as the woman, you as the wife, or you as the female friend, this is your role. And so, what you think, Lise?
Oh, man. So when you say inherently, I go back, way back in time with my mom and dad, or probably before them, where, the wife, she just was the stay-at-home mom. She did everything. She washed the clothes. She took care of the kids. She cooked the dinners. And you got the man who was, the provider. And he worked and he just made sure the household was straight. And he did most of, I guess, the men things, the cutting the grass and just being that provider. But personally, that was years ago. Things have changed. And society now, you have women of power now and women making just as the same amount of money as men are making. And you have women that are doing a lot of things that men are doing. Now you have women that don't mind becoming firefighters. You have women that don't mind.
Lisa, can I pause you real fast?
No, you cannot.
I need to tell you something.
Why?
Because I was literally thinking women are firefighters.
Oh, you was thinking
right
that?
Before you said that.
I love it. Okay. I thought you go be controversial with me right now.
I was like, we're twins.
Yes, I love that. But for real.
I'm sorry for Rick. I really thought that was cool.
Well, I'm glad that you were thinking the same thing. For real. Like you have women out here who are doing men things. Like I said, even, being a police woman or a lot, a lot. So things just have changed. And so I don't think that there's like a certain role any longer in like a household. For me, I do believe that if we live together, I don't personally want to cut the grass. Like I think my man just has to do it. I don't care. I don't want to get out there cutting the grass. However, I've seen women out there. Honestly,
have you ever cut grass
neighbors.
Before?
No,
okay.
And I don't want to. One, because I feel like it's just a lot. I guess it's the women in me. Grass gets me itchy, and then the allergies start kicking in. It's just a whole thing for me. So that's just one thing for me that, I don't want to do. Although I have neighbors, I see my neighbors out there married to men and everything, and they out there they mowing away.
And these men are not like disabled where they can't.
No, they're not disabled, but you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I do see it. I see it being a mutual thing. I see it where the man is out there too. So they're like pretty much taking turns. And so, but that's just something that me personally, I'm sorry, my man would just have to know that I'm just not doing that. Are we just gonna have to pay for it? Either you're gonna do it or we're gonna have to pay for
let me change the brakes
somebody to come. And women can do that too. Women can change tires. So, it's just, things just have changed, Sorry, men, we don't need you for everything anymore, right?
Oh speak for yourself.
Well, we definitely need you for some things. But anyways. But what I do think is important is when you're in a relationship, I think that it's important for you kind of to discuss with your mate what your expectation is from you and what you want. You know, because there's like personally, I don't even like washing clothes. If my man could do that, I would. I'm being for real. I would love that. And I'm saying that because of my workload already, because of everything that I have to do to maintain my lifestyle, you know, and it doesn't really incorporate washing clothes.
Washing clothes is not part of it.
Nowadays, you have, you know, women who are working 15 hours a day, and you have men that just have, you know, maybe a 9 to 5, and he's coming home and doing his regular routine, you know, whatever that is, and you half the time are still working. So I just feel like in a relationship, there should be a balance.
Okay.
And for me, I would want a man that could be able to be versatile in a lot of different things. I would want a man that's able to cook. I would want a man that's able to clean, definitely mow the lawn, do things that men feel like women should do. I feel like men should be able to do it too, because especially if there's not a balance in a relationship, I feel like a man coming in to compensate your time, that will give you the balance that you know, that you need and looking for. So I don't right now in this time that we live in, I don't want to put a mandated role on somebody, on a man. I feel like, again, that it just should be communication and a balance, regardless of what it is, between in the household. Wherever I slack, he's able to pick up. Whatever he slacks, I'm able to pick up. Yeah. And that's the only way that I could think. That's the only way that, you know. Now, if the roles were turned and my man, you know, he worked 12 hours a day and I got off, I worked a long time too. I worked 10 hours and he got home later than me, then it would be my responsibility, because I got home first, to make sure that the meals were cooked, to make sure that the kids were fed, kids are in the shower. It's just recognizing the areas that, you know, that other person needs help in or assistance in, to pick up the slack and pick up the weight. But I don't think there's no necessary roles. I think a man can do a female job, and I personally think a female can do a man's job, except for if it has to do with like working on a car or cutting the grass, in my opinion. And I don't know that I can think of anything else that I probably couldn't do that a man could not do. But that's kind of where I stand at it right now. Do you agree with some of the things that I've said, or what is your thoughts on this?
I am holding in a laugh. A couple things. You know me. Y'all probably
you got the story. What?
So
you got something.
I don't have a story.
No story.
Maybe I don't have a story, but here's my opinion. So when I talk about man and female, male-female roles, if we're talking relationship, we're talking marriage.
Yeah.
I think it is a man's job to pay all the bills.
Okay.
I hands down believe
I didn't bring nothing up with that.
I hands down believe that a man should and or have the ability to.
Okay.
Right. I know some women are like, I don't want a man taking care of me, that it compromises things. They feel insecure.
I love this.
You know. And so if they're not helping, they feel like a man could be like, you know, oh, get out, or, oh, let me tell you, as a family law attorney, get your name on that deed. He can't put you out nowhere. And let me say something. I'm going to say something else. You can put your name on the deed. He can not put your name on the deed. You're still going to get half of the house in a divorce. Let's call me.
Yes, amen to that.
That said, or you might get your 70%.
Call me
because Georgia is an equitable division state, not community property. So contact Crystal Red Law if you need some help. That said, it is my personal belief that my husband should have the ability to, even if I don't take advantage of that ability, you should have the ability to pay all the bills. Okay. And then I should use my money on like clothes and trips and, you know, fun things for the kids and all of that. But like, I'm not paying half of the mortgage. I don't want to pay half of the mortgage. I don't want to pay half of the utility bills. I don't want to pay half of the car note. I don't want to do those things, right? You need to be able to run this ship without my financial contribution, period. Now, if I choose to go to work and I choose to say, babe, like, I got you, whatever, that's my business, right? But I don't want to be, and that's what I talk to my daughter about. Like, I don't want you to be in a place where you feel like you have to work. Like, absolutely. Because there are other ways to contribute. Because before I worked, and it drove me crazy, I'm not the woman who can't work, right? Like, it drove me crazy. I had no financial contribution, but I cooked and I cleaned, and I loved it. Like, it wasn't even a thing where I was just like, oh my God, this is burdening me, because that was my contribution. And I wanted, because I do think you have to contribute. I don't think I get to be like, pay all the bills and I'm about to chill. Yeah. Like, no, like, my husband wake up in the morning, clothes iron to go to work. His lunch was packed. He came home, his food was ready, his plate was made, like it was done. His clothes were washed and folded. Like, he did not have to, house spotless. He didn't have to worry about that. And I was just catering to him. Yeah. Because that was my role in the thing. Now that I work, I pay for more of those things. And that's the thing. So my husband don't cut no grass. We pay somebody to cut the grass. You know what I'm saying? We don't clean the house. We pay somebody to clean the house. You know what I'm saying? We don't cook. We pay to eat. We eat well. We eat out.
But that will relieve a lot of concerns and stress.
Because we're both working.
That
was not a thing before I started working as much. When I was like when I started back in the workforce, I wasn't working a lot, so I was still doing a lot of it. But when my firm started really being successful, it was like, there cannot be an expectation that I'm going to still cook, clean, wash, iron clothes, So now, like, he washes his own clothes. I wash my own clothes because I didn't work. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't, and we have 2 separate closets and 2 separate laundries and you know what I mean? Whatever.
Okay. That could sound a lot of stress.
And so then, say we pay for house cleaning, we pay for whatever. We pay, he don't have to change no oil, we pay to get our car serviced, all of that stuff. And so, and that's the beauty of it. So, because we're both tired when it's over. Yeah. So we call each other on the way home from work. If we don't know what we're doing for dinner, we're like, did you eat? Nope. Did you eat? What you want? You know what I'm saying? So
at least one. Yeah. Nobody's responsible to try to figure it out every day.
Yeah. So one of us will grab food, or he'll say, I want to eat this. You want some? What you trying to do, or whatever. So, or if we both get home and we forgot to call, then we DoorDash. I spend so much money on DoorDash.
Can't do
but it is, I know you hate that. I got the membership, girl. So I don't feel like, that's it. And let me tell you, and I think it's unfair for both parties to be working and contributing, and then you think just the wife is supposed to do the domestic work. I think it is completely unfair. If you want me to do domestic work and that be my job, then you need to make sure that I have 8 hours a day to do that. Right? And 8 hours, 9 to 5, not like 5 after you get off work, spend 8 hours swinging.
You already know. You're never going to be able to do it. Not unless you're a housewife.
But if that's what you expect of me, if you expect that type of servitude, which is it's okay that it's servitude, then you need to give me a comfortable life that allows me to do that. And I will tell you that I had a comfortable life that allowed me to cook and clean and do all those things, for him. Yeah. But I think it's a man's job to provide, and I'll die on that hill. Yes. And like I said, even if you don't take advantage of it, because while I'm telling my daughter to marry someone who can provide, I'm also telling her to get your business up and running before you have a child. Absolutely. Right? And so, and it's funny, and speaking about provision, there was a thing on social media, bane of my existence, where they were polling women and asking them how much they thought their mate should make. Okay. And so these women were saying like, oh, 600,000, 300,000, like yearly, like 150,000 or whatever. And so, of course, they are. So on all my socials, like I find myself on the black side. Like I don't know anything what goes on any of the, whatever. But everybody's like, that's crazy. These women are crazy. They sound crazy. But then somewhere I saw that someone was like, no, like their parents are millionaires. So, you know what I'm saying? So it would be weird for them to say, I making 40,000. Yeah. So I called Kennedy about it. She had never thought about it. And I was like, imagine you drive a BMW. You 20 years old. Imagine a dude trying to put you in a Honda. Like, that's not a life that you can live, right? So you need to make sure you can call your mom and say, hey, I want to go to Paris. You can call your mom and say, hey, I want a saddlebag that I don't even like. But like, those are things that you have access to by virtue of being Galen being your daddy and me being your mom, right? And so when you get ready to look at marriage, and this was very much on purpose. Like, we set this standard very, very, very much on purpose because that's what you need to be looking for. It's going to be very uncomfortable for you if you can't say, hey, I want to, do our summer vacation, in Milan. Like, and somebody tell you, I'm going to take you to a cabin in North Carolina. Cabins in North Carolina are great. That's not what you want. That's not what you're used to. That's not how you were raised. You know what I'm saying? And so I did give her the flip side of it before I get any hate mail and tell her, look, but if y'all are building. So if he is, babe, let's start this restaurant because she wants to marry a chef. Let's do this restaurant. Let's do this together. We're not going to shop. We're not going to vacation. We're not going to do that for a year while we build. You hold him down. Yeah. Because that's someone who has if he has a plan.
Yes.
And there is, motion for doing this restaurant. Yes. But just on the strength of, like, I'm comfortable, making, I don't know what's comfortable for people, but I don't know what's low money. What's low income?
Maybe 40,000.
Okay. I know I'm comfortable making this $40,000 and now your mama got to go buy you another car, which I never would because I don't care about any. I would never intrude on any of my kids' stuff. Like, I'm never going to intrude on their marriage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So she called me crying because he's trying to put her in an Odyssey. I'm just going to be like, that's the man you chose.
That's what you chose.
I told you, me and your daddy worked very, very hard for you to have this life.
And that's
that
age too.
The man you chose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's probably going to take her a minute.
I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the standards are they're high up
there. But yeah, she had
So-
not thought about it, and she hadn't thought about what she would potentially be giving up, right? Because of her lifestyle, right? Because of who she is, and it's just kind of like, she was like, "Yeah, mom. So what do you think?" She was like, "How much do you think? Given what I'm used to, given what I have access to, how much do you think a man needs to make?" And then I told her, and I was like, that's very doable. Like, that's my everyday life. You're fine. You can have someone who makes this much money.
At what age?
She wants to be married by 28.
By 28, okay.
Yeah. And so let me tell you something. You know that I deal with very young millionaires.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so
absolutely.
This is not out of her reach.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
And so it's a thing.
And what God has for her is for her. Yeah. But I also, like I said, it's not, and this is all very worldly. I done consulted the Lord. This is literally, as a mother, knowing the life that we have set up for our child. I don't want to see you go to a situation where somebody asking you for your half on the bills. Oh.
Yeah, that 50-50 situation.
Where that ain't never been your story. You know what I'm saying? Where you said, Mom, I need a car for school for real. Like, I'm not going back without a car. And your mom bought you a BMW. Right? Like, where you're like, hey, I want to spend my spring break. I think I want to go to Paris. And your mom sent you to Paris. You know what I'm saying? And imagine that is your normal, everyday life you get to live. Yeah. And after you get a car and your mom tells you she's not buying you tickets to see SZA because she just paid cash for a car for you and you're not going to go see SZA, and you call me and say, Mom, I really want to go see SZA. I'll go by myself. Do you know she did that?
I know about her that car? I know about the SZA. But I know she was going by herself though. Okay.
That's why I flew. Let me tell you about my spoiled child. So I paid all this money for this car. Yeah. Right? And I was like, yo, don't ask me for nothing else. And I bought Dallas. Dallas said, I want to go see SZA. I buy Dallas tickets to SZA in Atlanta. I get her floor seats. Kennedy loves SZA too. I can't tell you a SZA song. So she was like, I'll go with myself, Mom. If I can I really just want to see SZA. So I done bought Dallas tickets already. So I ended up giving Dallas tickets to Dana and Gia. Okay. And flying Dallas to New York to see SZA at Madison Square Garden.
Yes. Spoiled.
And you want to marry a man to put you in a Honda. I'll fight you.
I know.
Anyway, she doesn't want to marry a man.
But
I say that like that is my desire for my child to be taken care of.
Which is great. You are definitely setting the standards for her as a parent, mother should.
But that's the desire for my children, my sons also.
Absolutely.
So like even MJ is in a relationship and he wants to get married, but he was like, yo, I can't take care of her. And he is very aware that he cannot take care of her financially. And so he's like, yo, we can continue to date. I love you. I want to be with you. I think this is, what God has for us. But I don't want to be in a position to where you have to work. If you want to work, that's great. Because it's not like a controlling thing, but it's like if you decide, I would rather be at home. We have kids. I'd rather stay home. I need to be able to do that for us. Because let me tell you something. That gets having to carry somebody or having... That ain't gonna feel good. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And I've talked to, just as a woman, I've talked to my sons about like, this is your responsibility. It is your responsibility to provide, period. And I think you should marry an idiot. You know what I mean? I think she should have the ability just for herself. Like I told Kennedy, she always wanted to open a restaurant. Don't meet a dude and get rid of your dreams, dog.
Yeah,
like you're going to open this restaurant. You're going to get your restaurant running. And then if you decide to have kids and not do, that's you've done that. You can just run the restaurant and you can make money from it. But this is something you always wanted to do. But he don't need to have his hand out the first of the month talking about I need your half of the mortgage.
Absolutely.
That's unless he gets laid off, right? Like I don't think that you should figure it out.
That's a good segue to what I was even thinking when you was talking about like a man should be a provider, which I solely agree. I agree that a man should be a provider. And you did mention when you was talking to that a woman should be able to spend, or you would spend your money on other things.
On
like
the kids.
You would pay the bills and you're spending money on the kids. But I do feel like for women, even if that man is a provider, I do feel like a woman should do her best to try to make the same amount or even more than what that man is making, because y'all have y'all's household. You have the man that's paying the bills and you're responsible for, the little small things, this, that. But if something happens to that man, then you just out there, So yeah, I think a man should be a provider, but I think that y'all's income you should work on y'all's income being equal, so that if your man gets sick, then you will be able to hold that household down on your own.
That's what savings and investment are for.
That is
like
definitely.
I believe. I mean, honestly, I believe in God. I have savings and investment. Lord, God help me. I'm not saying that, but the market can do anything because the market does things. Right?
It's doing things now.
But God, right? And so I really do just, put my faith and my trust in that. But I believe that I am not saying that this man, y'all should be living month to month, like paycheck to paycheck. Which should be
a lot of people out here do.
Right. But there should be like a sense of financial security, whatever that looks like for you. Right. And so, and again, I think that you want a vacation, you want to shop, you want your kids to go. I think that your money should go on those things. The things that you might have, that if you had to cut out, it's okay. If you had to cut out, even a private school, maybe you pay for private school. You want your kids to go to private school, you pay that $30,000 a year, right? Because that's something that you can cut out. As far as your life being sustained in the event that there is some sort of financial trauma, that's got to fall on that dude. I feel like that, and the planning for it is a thing that you guys planned for, and you should not be the fallback plan, because there are ways to plan for financial trauma that do not involve now my wife has to scramble and figure it out.
No, it shouldn't involve that. That's why I feel like it should be at the top of mind throughout the relationship. It should be a goal where that wife is attaining or trying to get
so
to.
she got to work, make the same amount of money.
I mean, just in case.
I have a question though. She got to work, make the same amount of money as you, and like what's the expectation about raising the kids and being at home? So that's when you're saying it's a 50-50, everything splits. Like she's not.
I mean, I don't even believe in 50-50. I just feel like.
And I'm not talking about cash 50-50. Yeah. I'm not talking about like financial.
I feel like there should be a balance in the relationship. Period. And again, I don't agree with 50-50. I'm just saying. And you, of course, when you work, you get your savings, you get your investments, your 401ks and everything like that. But I'm saying in the event that you do have a man that is providing for you, that man can walk out on you any day. He can go find another woman, cheat on you, do whatever. He can be gone. So I'm just saying as a woman, you still need to make sure you got yours together.
That I hear that. I don't know that I agree because divorce is a thing, right? That's real.
Yeah.
But what I'm not going to live is in a state of financial frenzy because he could leave me, because guaranteed he leaves me, I'm taking half. So and I'm taking half without having to sweat for it. Like without ever having had to work for it. I'm taking half. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's cheaper to keep her.
It's definitely cheaper
to keep. I've had to say that so much lately. Like, it's cheaper. Yes, that you think that song was fake. No, it is cheaper to keep her if you get a good divorce attorney because she's getting all of it. You know what I'm saying? And so, right. and when I say a man should be able to take care of my daughter, she should take care of him too. Now, be clear. That man been working all day. You need to have his food on the table. He doesn't need to come home and have to ask you for anything. You don't need to be dropping babies off on him because, I need a break too. That man been working all day.
Absolutely.
And I did tell my daughter that. I was like, yo, I don't know if she can do a stay-at-home mom. That's not that's not how she made it.
Yeah.
And so I told her that. And I said, the only way you would be able to do it, because I don't know that I feel like a man working and providing for the family has to do this level. Like, you would have to have a full-time nanny. And I told her that. I said, because I've been a stay-at-home mom twice in my life. It drove me nuts. And so, but also while I was one time I wasn't being taken care of. But the second time I was being taken care of, I had no financial worries, but it's just like, I just kind of like, it's a lot. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot.
So for Kennedy, I would just want her to be able to have a break. But I don't know that a man who is making it so his wife does not have to contribute gets to also say, here's, an additional $700 a week to pay for a nanny. And then when you have a nanny and you want to leave, you're going to probably need an additional $1,000 a week to go and, massage and do all the things you want to do. No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, let me say this. It's not crazy, but as an expectation, because people do it every day. That is people's real lives. So that's not what I'm saying. And I told her, I don't think you could do that. You're going to need a nanny if you want to stay at home. But you need to take care of him. And not to keep him, not because, he won't cheat, because cheaters going to cheat, right? But just so, like, that's your contribution.
That's your contribution.
That's your contribution.
I think in either role...
what you think about stay-at-home dads? What you think about making $500,000?
Stay-at-home dads or stay-at-home moms, I really don't. Honestly, it's crazy. And some people may know how to balance it out, but I think majority of the time it is not good and it's not healthy because the stay-at-home moms or the stay-at-home dads, y'all get bored and y'all don't have nothing to do. And y'all start getting to the point where you call in on the job because you want to talk.
I thought you were going to say cheating. That's bothering me while I'm working. Okay. And I feel it.
Okay. And then when you come home, it's somewhat like it's no peace because you have not done nothing productive, pretty much. Not productive, but you haven't done nothing throughout the day. And you ready to chit-chat it all up. And that person has been working 10-hour shifts and it's just the balance. It doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't work out like that, right? And so it's in those roles, it's hard. It
ain't hard when you got money, and I stand by that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's just
the money. If there's only one person working, the money is one-sided.
It don't mean you don't have it.
It's one.
But it doesn't mean you don't have it because again, if you can afford to have I don't think this is required, but and it ain't hard to have you know how much money I make.
Absolutely.
I could afford to, if I were to outfit someone, full-time nanny, full-time play money, full-time, all of that. Right? It ain't, it's not something that people can't do. It's not something that people are not doing. Right? And so, and then what happens, in my experience with that, is that people they while they're not working full time, they become get on boards. And so they serve for foundations and they find other things. It's not I'm not telling you to be a ditz, right? Don't call your man at work all day because you're sitting at home watching Real Housewives.
This is real though. This is real. This really happens.
And I'm sure it does happen, but also I think I'm talking from my experience and from my child more so.
Mm-hmm.
Kennedy, they ain't never gonna be who Kennedy is.
Yeah.
Kennedy is gonna find some sort of culinary board that she can be on, or she's gonna go volunteer at some school. Like she is going to still make her life is still going to be very rich and fulfilling. Yes. But that's why I say I don't think she could be a stay-at-home mom. And she's gonna make sure that her life is rich and fulfilling so that they both have something. But also, if you're doing a volunteer job, you don't get the benefit of being like, well, I'm tired too. Girl, sit down. Like, if you call me with that, well, I was volunteering at the school all day. That man was working to take care of your family. Why was his food not heated up? I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I would want for my daughter. But that's all that said, I think a man's role is to provide for the family. Absolutely. And I think a woman's role is to support and be there for her husband. That's just real. Period. Whatever that looks like, whatever he needs. So I can start spouting off things, because some men are like, I like to cook. That's my... I don't understand this, but that's their like therapy there. So even when I work all day, I want to come home and I want to get in the kitchen because that's my wind down time. So that may not be a thing that you have to do, but find out what your husband needs and do that thing. But it's easy to say when you being taken care of. A man got his hand out talking about, I need your half for the mortgage. We both wearing the pants. We both are wearing the pants. Like, we both wearing the pants.
Absolutely. And you want me to submit.
That part. Submit to your husband's like this. But no, like it, and then it's like, men have this, in my experience, men have this whole thing like submit to you, do, but so they want all of these, alpha male dominant things, but they don't want to do the alpha male dominant things. You don't want to go and take care of your wife completely and make it so, because you know what? I am more inclined to, if I don't have to, not if I don't, but if you are not relying on me to do half of your job, and I can just serve you, I'm going to do that thing.
I'm going to serve
I'm going to do it. Even if I work because I want to.
1 foot for you.
Right. But even if I work because I want to, I am more inclined because I am being taken care of.
Absolutely.
Whatever that looks like. And so that's why I feel like men should provide, and I feel like women should support those. I mean, I think you should support your husband. If you chose to, you knew before you got married, if you was going to have to put 50% on that doggone mortgage. So I don't think you get to be like, now I'm mad. Like I don't think you get to be that. But if somebody bamboozled you and was like, oh, I got you, and you in here, now you got to go work. After they told you could go to school or whatever, that's a thing. As far as like cutting grass and that little menial stuff, I ain't never been behind no more. Right?
But you have to still think of those things, because some people are not as fortunate financially to be able to do, to really do those things. And even we can start from younger, between 20 and 30 years old, like it takes time to get to the level of success where you are at, and so you have to worry and think about these type of things.
No, and I think I'm talking in terms of marriage. Now, like as a single person, when I wasn't married, I lived in a place where I didn't have like lawn or anything like that to do, and I remember my car. I didn't know how to change a tire.
Yeah.
And I remember my car had a flat, and I had parked at MARTA. I had parked at the station. I wanted to pick up my car. I was like, oh my God. And I don't know what to do. And this guy, the security guard, black security guard, shout out to black men.
we shouting out black men.
A black security guard was like, yo, I'm not changing. I'm about to teach you how to change it.
Oh, I love that.
He did.
And you was willing to do that?
What else I was going to do? That was my man. I'm gonna be like, change this tire. No. So, and honestly, I was, and now I'm in my business suit.
Yeah.
And he made me get down there and change that tire.
Oh, wow.
And but I'm telling you, I want you to know that I've had to change tires since that date. And I'm just thankful for him.
Oh, wow.
And so Kennedy knows how to change a tire. You don't know how to change a tire?
I do not. Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
I got AAA.
Yeah.
So,
Hello. What about people who are less fortunate who don't count?
Yeah, okay, now I'm acting like you. The roles done switched a little bit.
But I know how to change a tire. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
I would not, I honestly would not think
I don't know how to change no brakes.
Or the oil.
Yeah. Okay. I know how to check the oil.
I know how to check
I know how to check the oil.
Well, I ran into a guy that really didn't know how to check the oil. The guy was asked to check the oil, and he got up underneath the car and looked, and he said, I see some oil dripping. And we was like, no, we need to know if we have oil in the car.
On the stick.
He went down again and looked up underneath the car.
Did he grow up with a father or men in his life?
No, he didn't.
Okay.
But the father was alive there, but he wasn't like actively there, right? And probably not a lot of men, but
not anybody
not
anybody who's teaching him how to change oil.
Basically, yeah. So it was like suggested where it was like, I think you need to open the trunk and get the thing to see.
Shut your face, Alisa, please. Let me tell you something. And talking in terms, if I'm married, I ain't changing no oil. I don't put gas in my car.
Yeah, don't.
My husband asked me the other day, he's like, how much gas you have in your car? The gas fairy puts the gas in the car. I have no idea how much gas is in my car, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's those, I do think that some roles, if you are married, are inherently for the man. Like, I don't really want to take no trash out.
Oh, I never even mentioned that one. You're right about that.
But you see me take the trash out 2 days in a row, haven't you?
I have actually,
but not because we were filming and there was cool, and I took the trash out and
you was adding that balance.
Touching the trash, it wasn't balanced. I was just, let me tell you why I did it, because I said this is for my podcast. This is the thing I insisted to have. So what I'm not gonna do is tell my husband to get in here and take this trash out.
Okay.
So I was just like, whatever. So I took the trash out and I touched the trash can and lifted it open.
Oh my God!
Twice, 2 days.
That's great.
Yes.
I commend you.
Thank you. But I'm not.
I'm a stickler about that too. Honestly.
About the trash?
Just with having, more men in the house than me. I don't feel like, I'd be a person who don't feel like I should have to go and take the trash and pull the trash out when the trash can, I don't think that's my responsibility.
I wish I would pull trash to a curb. I wish I would.
It's the truth, especially when you have a lot of men in your house.
One man. I have a man.
You're right. Yeah, but no, I think that a man should do that. I think a man should.
And washing the car. Kennedy loves to wash her car. Like, that's
and Maya loves to wash her car too, honestly.
But they have really nice cars.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and so it's like they're in love with them. But Kennedy is in that thing. That's her little therapy thing.
I love that. And
Kennedy loves to clean. And just like be very, very organized. So that's her thing.
Yeah.
I'm not washing no car. So
I
don't think that's a And I remember, I have dated some trash men. This dude was poor. And can I say this enough? I was driving this Nissan Sentra. And I was in an argument with this dude, with my boyfriend at the time. And I was going through a gate and it tore my mirror off my thing. And I was like, I was so upset. And it was like, I didn't have no money to get it fixed. Yeah. And I was driving down Spring Street in Atlanta. And if you know anything about when it's rush hour, that thing is packed. Mm-hmm. This dude was trying to flag me down. I rolled my window down. And he was like, yo, someone trying to talk to me. I was like, I got a boyfriend. He was like, no, you don't. Not with your mirror broke like that.
Dang. I love that comeback.
Let me tell you something. The way I called that dude,
he was angry.
Yo,
he was angry.
I was on fire.
Did you break up with him that day?
I didn't. And he was like, yo, I've been broke. Okay, well, you're not the one for me. I did get my mirror fixed. Look, money came from somewhere.
Okay.
That mirror was fixed the next day.
I know that's right.
I called somebody. They came out to my job and fixed that mirror. But I was that's true though.
Point. Yeah,
like this man, like I'm turning him down. I'm driving around town with a mirror hanging off on a Nissan Sentra.
Yes. Oh my God, that's a great point. For real.
And it wasn't but like $140 to get it fixed too. I remember this.
That's a great point.
I was so embarrassed.
I am with you on that. If something breaks down, regardless of whatever it is, I would expect for my man to get it fixed.
Fix it.
I don't care what it is.
What do I look like?
Or what about the fixtures in the house, like the lights and stuff like that?
Let me tell you a thing or two. You want to talk about your brother? Because we got these lights in the ceiling in our kitchen, and it's like 9 of them or something. And they'll go out at different times, and it's still bright in there. I'm like, my dude, why is there one of these lights? Oh, baby, I didn't see it. I see it every time I sit down at this table. Like, be on top of it, but I'm not changing a light bulb.
You not changing a light bulb?
I wish I would.
I think I'm okay. I'm okay with changing a light bulb.
You're gonna get on the stool and change a light bulb?
No, maybe I was thinking about a lamp.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So in the ceiling.
But no. I would expect that as well. I would expect. Yeah, anything pretty much broken that needs to be fixed in the house, I would expect for them to be on it.
Or figure it out. Like, you might not be able to do it, but you need to call the plumber.
I would want that. What about oh my gosh. And this took me this is so funny. This happens in the Black community, and I know oh my God, there's been some comments about it and people laughing about it, and some people know and some people don't know, but it took me a long time to realize that there's sometimes a chirp in your house. and you're going about
The fire
you're
alarm
ignoring
thing.
it. You ain't got you don't heard it so much. You just ignoring
It becomes a part of your house.
I remember working, and I was working remote, and this thing had been going on for a long time. And my manager was like, "You need to change your
change your battery." Yeah.
And I'm like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, that's your fire alarm."
Yeah.
I didn't know it. My man walking around the house didn't know it. But I would expect him for, you know what I'm saying?
I would expect him to change it. No, I think that's fair. I think all of that is fair.
Yeah.
So I think men should take care of things and women should do all the other stuff.
Yeah.
Like do all the little answers, the stuff that doesn't matter. The stuff you could do without, that's our job.
Yeah.
But you guys have to do all the men have to do all the main things.
The laboring. More of the laboring, the hands
honestly,
working.
I'm trying to think. What
do we do? Huh?
Before I had a live-in man, a live-in garbage person.
We call that.
I had sons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me tell you how bad I am about men are supposed to do. Like, what about killing bugs?
Oh my God! I was thinking about that in my head. I was like, literally. No. I was. Oh my gosh! They gotta go. They gotta get it and they gotta pick it up. Like certain things,
right?
Like, cause
like
we live,
thing.
like ants, a little bitty spiders, okay, but like we're in Georgia, so there's roaches and some there's roaches that come seasonal and all the other stuff that might just get into your house. So you got the door open, fly in, whatever. But the big cockroaches, if they come and get into the house, no, like kill it, pick it up. I wouldn't even. I'm moving out. Like I'm so dramatic when it comes to that. Like that's one of my like phobias for some reason. But bugs, yeah.
Let me tell you something. It is so ingrained in me that men are supposed to kill bugs. I'm going to tell you something so hilarious.
It's me too.
MJ was like 3 years old.
You gonna make MJ kill a damn bug?
We was in the car. And something flew in there huge. And I was freaked. I was like, MJ, get it!
The 3-year-old. Not the 3-year-old.
I was like, he's a boy. That I really thought that. I was like, he's a boy. He know. Like I thought he was like born with it.
But I know he was mature at that level to understand what you were saying.
No, MJ could not even talk it through. He was a late bloomer.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
Like he understood it for real, but he was just like never had to do that.
Yeah,
so
like, hold on.
I'm screaming. He's screaming.
That is too cute.
We was at a gas station.
Yeah.
But this is how stupid I was.
No,
because I really was like he knows he needs to do this. Like he should have come out of the womb knowing
the car would have been moving.
He's a boy and he needs to do this. I'm trying to think. He might have been 2. He was walking. He was in a car seat. He was 2 because he had braids. And he cut him off before he turned 3. So he was 2. And I fully expected him to kill the bug.
Wow.
I wish I was kidding.
I don't know what I would have done.
You would have not been stupid like me.
I don't know. I probably would have been worse. First instinct would have been to try to pull over. And I probably would have got out the car and ran with the baby in the car.
I was at a gas station. I was at a gas station and parked. But I fully expected him to kill it.
He really did.
But it's weird, like MJ, when he went to LA, he was in his Airbnb and a rat came in.
Ooh, Lord Jesus.
And so he calls me and I didn't know if he would know what to do. I don't know. Because
so he was calm when he called you.
Obviously, as a baby, he didn't know to kill a bug. So at 18, what do you know? So he was like, so he just telling me the story later. And I was like, he was like, a rat came in my room. And I was like, freaking out, like, did you have to move out? Like tell me what happened. He was like, yo, I got ready to kill it. And so I was like, MJ, he was like, I wasn't scared. He's like, you come in here. I believe that nature should have all the animals, but if you come in here in my territory, it's free reign to kill you. That. So he's like, but it went out, so he didn't have to kill it. But I was shocked.
My kids would not have done that.
But he was 18.
I know. I don't even know if Elijah would have done it. We all would have been packing up.
But he thought, yes, he thought to kill it.
That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. And so, that's how men should be.
I feel like men should be our saviors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Men should be our saviors. That's how we feel. Yes. More to the story.
Yes. Don't make us work.
Don't make us work.
Don't ask us for half of the mortgage, please. That is, and spiritual leadership, right?
Oh, like, definitely.
You want spiritual leadership. Absolutely. Like I really want to be able to exist and just be kind of like, I trust you to tell me what to do. Do I sound so
No,
horrible?
not at all. Because we're good women.
Yes.
And we know how to treat a man, a good man.
But the way that I'm wired, could I sit back and let somebody just kind of be like, oh, I'm going to make all the decisions for everything. I'm going to need your plan. Like, you can make the decision, but let me approve it first.
Yeah. That
I
is.
believe that. I mean, that's how my life works right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. Yeah,
I think that's how my life works. Because I never had the benefit
that's
of
just
somebody
me.
being smart enough to lead me. So I don't
I
trust
feel you.
any. That's what Galen
Yeah.
says. He suffers from my past because like I want to see everything.
You do.
You know, and so he's like, I got it. And I'm like, well, I just want to make sure you do. It's fine. It's completely fine.
You got a good woman.
But that's what I think. And what about parenting? Do you think, what roles do you think, what role you think men and women play in parenting? Do you think that's basically the mom's job or joint?
No, I think it's joint. You know, especially when we're talking about time, you know, whoever's working the most get the least responsibilities.
You think the smartest does the homework and school stuff?
Yeah, I do. I think that's if possible. You know, if that smartest person is available, then yeah. I think there should be a balance, regardless. However, even with the kids, it should be some type of balance. But oh my God, I think we have talked for like over 45 minutes, and it's time to wrap it up.
Have we?
Yes, we did. We gotta wrap it up.
I have a question.
I know. Okay. We might have to do a part 2 or something, because this can go for a minute. I know.
I have a question about the parenting role. I want to say something.
Oh my God.
Okay, social media abandoned my existence. So this guy says that he doesn't, if his kids need money, or his wife says his kids need something, he purposely gives it to them himself, because he says that what happens is the kids are going to look and be like, mom does, mom did, mom whatever. Yeah. And he wants to make sure they know that he is active in doing things for them. And if it flows through mom, they're only going to think it's mom. Isn't that interesting?
That's very interesting. I mean, but all he has to do is say, I gave mom this money to get this for you. And
I think that's a lot. I think,
I don't think it's that serious.
I think it is that serious. I don't know if I think it's serious, but I don't think a kid is going to, when you say it, I think he's going to be like, okay, whatever. But as they get older, they're going to know, hey, I can go to dad too. I can do, you see what I'm saying? Because in most situations, you know the kids are coming to mom. Absolutely. The kids are thinking that mom is making, not even paying for it, but just kind of like mom is making this happen. Yeah. And he's like, I don't want that to be my kid's story. Yeah. I want them to know dad makes things happen too. Which is fine. I just love that.
Yeah. I can't.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I can't.
You don't care about that?
No, I can't say that that's wrong.
I think it's great.
I think it's valid.
Yeah.
I think there's other ways still around it, but.
Yeah. We don't have time to talk about that.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. We love y'all so much.
Thank you, guys.
See y'all later.
Peace.